This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
Medical credit cards are becoming a hot topic, and for good reason. On one hand, they offer a way to afford treatments you might otherwise delay. But on the other, they can lead to unexpected debt if you're not careful. So are they a helpful tool or a financial trap?
Medical credit cards might seem like a win for everyone. Providers get paid upfront without dealing with billing hassles, and patients can finance treatments they couldn't otherwise afford. The promise of zero interest during the promotional period is tempting, especially with today's high rates. Popular options like Care Credit, Scratch Pay, Alpheon Credit, and Healthy Plan offer these financing solutions. These financing options often advertise interest-free or deferred interest periods, but there's a catch. Once the promo ends, interest kicks in retroactively, and the rates are usually higher than regular credit cards. Plus, if you don't pay the full balance during the promo period, you'll owe interest on the entire amount, not just what's left. Late fees can also add up fast. Between 2018 and 2020, patients paid $1 billion in deferred interest on nearly $23 billion in healthcare costs, according to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Medical credit cards might seem like a lifesaver. Are they really a good idea? One major credit card provider, Care Credit, is offered in more than 250,000 healthcare provider offices, an increase of more than 40% from a decade ago, according to a recent report by the CFPB, or Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let's look at a couple things when it comes to Care Credit. They offer deferred interest and 0% APR. This could be appealing, but risky. The APR, or 0% APR introductory offer, can often lure many consumers into thinking they're getting a great deal. However, the term deferred means that interest is not waived, just postponed. So you have to be awfully careful about that.
Elizabeth Benjamin from the Community Service Society of New York points out many people using Care Credit have little to no savings. Consumer advocates are raising concerns that some doctors, dentists, and vets push patients into these medical credit cards unnecessarily, even when insurance or other assistance could cover costs. Oftentimes, patients aren't clearly told they're signing up for a credit card or how deferred interest actually works. While providers are often to blame for these practices, credit card companies make it easy for them to happen. Care Credit claims its 270,000 providers are trained to explain the product and direct patients to disclosures. The company says 80% of users pay off their balance during the promotional period, avoiding interest, and people use the card for everything from vitamins to fitness gear. However, those who don't pay in time, Care Credit earns big. Synchrony Bank's latest report shows its health and wellness products, led by Care Credit, generated $956 million in interest and fees in the third quarter of 2024, a 13% increase from the previous year.
There's a new trend that's creeping its way across the U.S. where patients are at the negative financial experience side of the equation when these third parties or even the providers themselves are offering medical credit cards when the patient could actually qualify for government assistance or even their private insurance. We've said on this show before that the insurance companies can make this so unbearably ridiculous, and there's so much red tape, and there's so many barriers and obstacles to jump through. There's even insurance companies that have algorithms that will just deny claims without even looking at them. What's happening is the patient is not fully informed about the consequences of one single late payment. For example, Care Credit had to give back $34 million to patients who were deceived into getting a card because they were not fully educated on what would happen if they missed or they were late on one payment.
Medical credit cards with deferred interest can be risky, especially for people with lower credit scores, warns the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. If you miss a payment, your credit score can take a hit. An unpaid debt could lead to lawsuits from credit card companies. According to the National Consumer Law Center, these lawsuits often work in favor of the companies, resulting in wage garnishment or even money taken directly from your bank account. Some states are stepping up to regulate these cards and protect consumers. For example, California passed a law in 2020 requiring patients to fill out credit card applications themselves, banning providers from doing so when patients are under anesthesia. Similarly, a 2024 law in Illinois stops dentists and their staff from completing credit applications or signing patients up for deferred interest cards. If you're using a medical credit card, be sure to pay on time and ideally make extra payments before the promotional period ends to avoid costly interest and fees. Here are some more options to consider.
Instead of signing up for a medical credit card or loan, ask your medical provider if they directly offer interest-free or low-interest payment plans. If that doesn't work, consider these other options.
If you have good credit, you may want to consider a personal loan from your bank or credit union, where interest rates start around 10%.
Never provide your credit card when receiving care in an emergency room. If you're insured, ask for the invoice to be sent to your insurance company. If you're uninsured, ask for it to be mailed to you so you can figure out how to pay or negotiate it in a calmer setting. And if you're confronted with a hospital bill you can't afford, always ask if there's a charitable program you can apply for. You can find out how to apply with your specific hospital at $4.org.
Medical credit cards can be helpful in the right situation, but they come with big risks if you're not careful. If you're considering one, take the time to fully understand the terms, especially the deferred interest details. If you're unsure, explore other financing options or talk to your provider about payment plans that might work better for you.
The Kandanga Farm Store just outside Brisbane, Australia, is a charming country shop with a focus on farm-to-fork living. They're all about producing food without chemicals. UNN Field Messenger Clive gives us a closer look at this amazing place.
G'day viewers, it's Clive, your roving reporter for United Ethnic News. Today I'm up a little country town called Kandanga, which is north of Brisbane. And I'm talking to Amber, to one of the founders of the place. This is a store that is more about the farm to the flake. So, Amber, tell me, what was it that inspired you to get into this sort of business?
Well, I married a farmer, and I'm from the city originally. But ever since I was very young, I've always been fascinated with the farm life. They call it the food life. I certainly have very romantic kind of ideals about what that life is going to be like, but I still love it, and I love that it is in tune with nature. I'm in tune with the seasons. Producing food is, fundamental to all of us to be able to eat, and we believe very passionately that we need to farm in a way that works with nature rather than in spite of her. And so we try to do with our land, and we feed producers certified organic. We'll try to mirror what will happen in nature, and in that way we're basically working with nature. And so a lot of the fights that people have, we don't have, because we're working in tune with nature and working with the animals and their natural instinct, make sure that our plants and animals are evolving together, and that we believe means we have healthy, happy animals, and we have a landscape that's building and regenerating over time, and that produces the best possible food for our customers and our tourists.
I noticed you've got a farm where you got with rotating crops. Regenerative. Could you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, so again, that's mirroring what happens in nature. If you think about plains of Africa, the grasslands are very, the America, you don't have animals that just stay in the same spot all the time. You're basically moving through that landscape with the food, access with water, but also predatory threat. So you imagine lots of buffalo, or in the plains of Africa, you've got all your wildebeest and your zebras and all of that. They're all happily eating. A lion comes along. Those animals are frightened. They bunch together. They defecate. They wee. It improves chopping the ground. And then probably one of them gets eaten, and there's guts and blood and all of that. Then the lion's finished. He's had his dinner. He's left. Those animals don't want to stay in that same spot because of what's happened. The food will be destroyed. But the hoof action on the landscape was actually creating this breaking soil surface for the seeds to come in, like seeds to germinate, and then you've got the fertilizer from the manure as well, and then you've got the animals that left that area, and so then there's time for those seeds to germinate to go into seed. So that's when we rotationally graze. We're mirroring that with the high intensity. Those animals eat their grass that's there down to the ground, and then they don't come back to that area. The food read all of that, and they don't come back to that same spot, so it allows that grass to fully recover. That's mirroring underneath the soil surface, so there's roots underneath the soil. That's then, it's saying when grass is like that, the roots are like that down below, but then when the cow will eat it, then those roots go up, and that's what's actually building soil beneath your surface. So by following that simple, natural, what we've evolved to do, what animals have evolved to do, we're actually building soil, working as a general way rather than the clean nose.
So you're getting better quality meat, you're at a point follow it.
That's right, and our animals are healthier.
Well, if you're up at Kadanga, come and visit Kadanga Park. Supply the United Network Eats. Thank you.
Protein powders have become increasingly popular as a convenient way to support fitness goals and maintain a healthy lifestyle. Widely used by athletes, bodybuilders, and health enthusiasts, they are praised for their ability to boost protein intake and aid muscle recovery. But with all the hype, it's worth asking, are there any risks or downsides to using them long term?
Let's start with a recent report from the Clean Label Project, which has raised some serious concerns about what might be lurking in these health-focused products. Released this year on January 9th, the study found many protein powders contain high levels of heavy metals, including lead and cadmium. And here's the scary part. These contaminants aren't listed on the labels. Lead and cadmium are both toxic and can cause serious health problems. Lead, for instance, has no safe exposure level, according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Meanwhile, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration warns cadmium can damage your kidneys, bones, and lungs, and even increase your risk of cancer. Definitely not what you want in your protein shake.
Attention health enthusiasts. Your favorite protein powder might be hiding a dark secret. A recent investigation by the Clean Label Project has found alarming levels of heavy metals in many protein powders. Yes, even other plant-based and organic ones. 77% of plant-based and 79% of organic powders are above California's safety limits for toxic metals like lead and cadmium. And get this, chocolate-flavored powders can have up to 4 times more lead and 110 times more cadmium than vanilla. But why? Plants absorb heavy metals from contaminated soil, and cacao naturally has high metal content. Consuming these metals can raise risks of cancer, kidney disease, and more, so what can you do? Choose reputable brands with third-party testing and go for natural protein sources like eggs, fish, chicken, lentils, and quinoa. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep your protein clean.
Things would not be complete without a debate, and the Council for Responsible Nutrition is pushing back on this new report about supplement contamination. They argue the report falls short on clarifying contamination thresholds and how products were selected. They also highlight that modern testing can detect even trace amounts of heavy metals, which occur naturally in soil, air, and water. According to them, these levels often fall well below the safety standards set by the Food and Drug Administration and the Environmental Protection Agency. However, the conversation doesn't end there. Protein powders have plenty of fans who swear by their benefits, boosting muscle mass, improving athletic performance, and offering a quick, convenient source of nutrition. Still, there are legitimate concerns, as many powders come loaded with extra ingredients like sugar, artificial flavors, thickeners, and added vitamins or minerals, which might not be everyone's cup of tea.
When it comes to buying protein, a lot of times people will see 30 grams of protein and they're sold. But when you read the ingredients, you see that protein comes from GMO whey protein isolate. And oftentimes, these proteins will have processed inflammatory oils like sunflower and canola oil. And have you ever wondered how they get double rich chocolate? It's with artificial flavors, and the sweeteners are usually sucralose or ACE-K, the same stuff they would put in low-quality diet sodas. And if you're buying plant-based protein thinking you're avoiding those ingredients, you're still going to find the sunflower oil. And this one here has the dreaded natural flavors and cane sugar.
Kathy McManus, Director of Nutrition at Harvard-affiliated Brigham and Women's Hospital, highlights some important things to know about protein powder. Since it's a supplement, the Food and Drug Administration doesn't regulate it, so there's no guarantee it contains exactly what's on the label. Plus, there's not a lot of research on the long-term effects of getting so much protein from supplements. For some people, especially those who are lactose intolerant, milk-based protein powders can cause stomach issues. And watch out, some powders are packed with sugar, often exceeding the daily recommended limits, which can contribute to weight gain and cause blood sugar spikes. McManus also explains chemical-free protein powders can sometimes be useful, but only under medical supervision. This might apply to cases like difficulty eating due to cancer treatment or age-related frailty, slow healing wounds that need protein for cell repair, or serious conditions like burns requiring extra calories and protein for recovery. For everyone else, whole foods are the way to go. Nuts, seeds, low-fat dairy, beans, fish, poultry, eggs, and lean meat offer plenty of protein without the need for powders.
Whey protein powder. Now think about what whey protein powder is. It's a protein in milk and dairy, and it's highly concentrated to be extremely low fat, if not zero fat. Okay. And anytime you consume something that's refined out of the normal complex that nature has designed, it comes with a package. And so whey protein is inflammatory. It's a bit toxic to the liver. It increases inflammatory markers. And I remember long ago, before I had any awareness on health, I wanted to gain weight. Okay. This was in high school. And so what did I do? I consumed protein powder, and I started chowing that stuff down. And man, did I get sick, because not only was it filled with whey protein powder, it was filled with the next thing on the list, which is maltodextrin.
Maltodextrin is a highly processed carbohydrate known for spiking blood sugar levels and increasing gut inflammation. It's also important to note protein powders are not a magic fix for fitness goals. They work best alongside a balanced diet and regular exercise. Supplements shouldn't replace whole food protein sources, which offer additional nutrients and benefits. If you feel like you need additional protein, choose a high-quality powder from a reputable brand, ideally one that's third-party tested for safety and ingredient accuracy.
The choice to use protein powder is personal. Do your research and weigh the risks and benefits based on your needs and preferences. Consulting a healthcare professional or dietitian can help you decide if it's right for you.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
Today we're visiting Zoe's beautiful gardens in Ban Patok, Romania. These gardens, designed by an Italian entrepreneur, span 7 hectares and combine the beauty of nature with incredible creativity. Join us as UNN Field Messenger Monica takes us on an amazing tour of this masterpiece.
Hello, this is Field Messenger Monica reporting from Romania for United Network News. At Zoe's Gardens, nature and human creativity blend harmoniously to create a true paradise. The entrepreneur Giovanni Salvatelli is an Italian from the Ancona area, somewhere in central Italy. He came to Romania in 2003. And he bought land on a hillside where there were only a few wild plum trees and some unkempt vineyards. Today, the landscaped area is almost 4 hectares, but the total area is more than 7 hectares, and it is located in the picturesque village of Bampotok in the heart of Hunedoara County. Mr. Salvatelli says that this place has attracted him since the very first time he visited it, and that there are certain places that, beyond our understanding, have a positive charge. Paradise was created over time, year after year, as Giovanni relaxed in his own garden, trying to shape his soul project for those so dear to him, such as his niece Zoe and his new nephew Achille. This warm-hearted grandfather created this garden like a puzzle game, piece by piece, without any studies in the field or the support of landscape architects. His only and most reliable helper was his imagination, his creativity, and his boundless love for his first granddaughter, Zoe. For 2 decades, Salvatelli has been planting, tending, adapting, and designing his wonderful gardens. You can see the harmony between the plants and the decorative objects brought from Italy. Vases, columns, and fountains made of natural materials such as travertine and the volcanic stone called peperino, or the cast iron objects that Giovanni Salvatelli bought in antique shops and restored with great care. On one of the decorative objects in his garden, he has inscribed a motto in Italian that represents him: "O ho che ho donato," or "I have what I have given." Everything is possible as long as there is will and passion. We just have to give and stop waiting to receive. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Every spring, the peaceful region of Umbria, Italy, bursts into life with color and excitement during the Tulip Spring Festival. UNN Field Messenger Maya takes us right to the heart of this vibrant celebration.
Hello, I am Maya, reporting this time from Umbria region, Castiglione del Lago village overlooking the Trasimeno Lake. Castiglione del Lago is a picturesque little village situated on a peninsula in the Trasimeno Lake, considered the Umbrian Sea. The inhabitants celebrated this Festa del Tulipano since 1956. The whole village is decorated with tulip flowers to win an award for most beautiful tulip arrangement. There are to be found brass bands, processions, and games of nobles and the common people in historical costumes. This event usually lasts 5 to 7 days. On Sunday, the festival culminates into a big procession with decorated floats covered with thousands of tulip petals arranged painstakingly into artistic compositions. hope you enjoyed the event, and thank you for watching.
Life coaching has exploded in popularity over the last decade, with countless people seeking guidance to improve their careers, relationships, and overall well-being. Unlike therapy, which is deeply rooted in mental health treatment, life coaching focuses on personal development, goal setting, and accountability. But as the industry grows, so do concerns about its lack of regulation. Is life coaching just unregulated therapy? And what are the potential risks for those seeking help?
The number of professional life coaches around the world has skyrocketed, growing by more than 33% since 2015, according to the International Coaching Federation. The U.S. is at the forefront of this trend. Social media has been a huge driver, with many coaches building large followings and offering everything from career guidance to emotional healing. The pandemic only sped things up as people looked for alternative support during lockdowns, career changes, and emotional struggles. With traditional therapy often having long wait lists and higher costs, many turn to life coaches for help, fueling the industry's rapid growth. The appeal is clear. Life coaching provides structure, motivation, and an action-oriented approach to personal growth. Many people turn to coaches because they want guidance without the clinical, medical focus or stigma therapy might provide. But that's where the line between coaching and therapy can get blurry.
A question I get all the time is, what's the difference between a life coach and a therapist? The main goal of therapy is typically to help people to deal with traumas of their past in order to come to a healthy and functional present. If you've been diagnosed with depression, if you have suicidal thoughts, if you want to have healthy relationships, and maybe you've had a hard time holding down a job, those are areas where a therapist is probably the best professional to seek out. As a life coach, I typically deal with people who are, for the most part, healthy and functional right now, but they're in a place where they're stuck, or they have a lack of clarity, or they're really in this area of life where they're asking themselves, what now? What's next for me? Or maybe you want to live a life that's deeper with more meaning, get more clarity on which direction to go. These are areas where a life coach can really help.
While these distinctions seem clear, the lines between therapy and life coaching are often blurred because both focus on personal growth and well-being, just in different ways. A good coach might help someone work through limiting beliefs or emotional blocks, just like a therapist might help a client develop confidence and direction. Since both professions aim to help people live better lives, it's no surprise they often seem to blend together. And that's a big concern for some because life coaching isn't specifically regulated. Licensed therapists have to meet strict education, ethics, and licensing standards, while life coaches don't, which creates a major gap in accountability. This may raise concerns about consumer protection since there's no oversight ensuring life coaches follow professional or ethical guidelines. On top of that, most therapists carry liability insurance, allowing clients to seek damages if harm is done. But life coaches usually don't. Without insurance, there's little chance of a successful lawsuit, meaning clients have almost no recourse if something goes wrong.
Here's my issue with life coaches, okay? First of all, I'm sure there are some really good life coaches out there, just like there are some really bad psychologists out there. But some of us go through a decade of education and spend thousands of hours in supervised clinical training and do a dissertation and do more research on top of that. Pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in tuition to get all of our degrees and to become qualified. And then we have to take license exams and we have to do continuing education hours to maintain our licensure, to be called clinical psychologists. But then you have some individuals who don't go through any schooling, they don't have any licensure, and based on some experiences that they have in their lives, they call themselves coaches and they practice therapy. and they might end up hurting somebody. This is very, very dangerous. Please be careful.
A big reason people are skeptical of life coaches is the lack of required training. Since the industry isn't regulated, there's no way to know how much or how little training someone has before calling themselves a life coach. Many do earn certifications that require training hours, coaching experience, and exams, but these programs vary widely. While certification can add some credibility, it's not the same as a therapist license, which is backed by strict state and federal regulations. In the end, a life coach's credibility depends more on their program's reputation and personal experience than any legally enforced standards. For some people, certifications just aren't a big deal. What matters more to them is whether a life coach can help them achieve their goals. They're more focused on the coach's ability to connect, understand their needs, and offer practical advice rather than their titles or training.
Last year, I stepped away from therapy to try life coaching instead, and this is what happened. So to preface, I had been in therapy for 10 years with the same therapist. Same therapist since I was 18 years old. When I was 18, freshman year, I had ideations many years ago and had depression for a long time, have been on antidepressants for a long time, since that time. And after all that time, it kind of felt like therapy was just another rut that I was in. I realized that I had been rehashing some of the same fears and same limiting beliefs for a decade. I was in talk therapy and I honestly got to the point where I thought, I want less talk and more action. So I told my therapist I needed to take a break and I found a life coach. At that point, I really wanted to focus on my romantic relationships and my career. I had been planning to escape my corporate job and start my own career coaching business, and I really needed a different type of perspective to help me navigate a lot of the mental roadblocks that were coming up for me. And in my experience with coaching, I took a lot more action than I did when I was in therapy. So I worked with this life coach for a total of 4 months. And in those 4 months, I made so much progress on the career front, so much progress. I built the foundation of my business and I actually started hiring my own career coaching clients during that time that I was in coaching. I didn't make a lot of progress on the romantic relationships front, though. I definitely do not think that coaching replaces therapy, especially for more intensive forms of therapy. But I do believe that high quality coaching is specifically designed to help us make faster transformations along very specific goals, like your romantic relationships, like building a different career path or navigating changes in those spaces.
Life coaching and therapy are different, and which one you choose really depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you're dealing with deep emotional issues, trauma, or mental health challenges, well, therapists are trained for that. There are also other options like energy work, which focuses on balancing your energy and emotional well-being, or holistic practices like mindfulness and meditation that can complement therapy. But if you're looking to set goals, boost confidence, or improve performance, life coaching might be the way to go. It all comes down to whether you need healing support or someone to help guide you forward.
We have a very special birthday this week. All of us here at UNN would like to wish Sunny Galt a very happy birthday.
My thing's totally off. Okay, here we go. For reals, Mike, for reals. Quit messing around. I'm Sunny Galt, and welcome to a UNN Global Report.
Hi everybody, it's Sunny, Field Messenger with United Network News, and I'm here with my family.
Hey everyone, it's Sunny reporting for United Network News, and I am in San Diego at SeaWorld.
I'm Sunny Galt. Welcome to another United Network News Report.
All right, hopefully that was recording.
Okay, I'm gonna cut. Since I didn't mess that up, I'm gonna cut and then give you a new clip. We got it. We got it, we got it, we got it.
Ta-da! I hope you guys appreciated that as much as we did.
I think that was okay. Wobbly start. Amazing take number 2. UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.